Hello, YouTube! Now, some eagle-eyed people amongst you might realize something here. Look at me scratching my head. You may notice that the audio, or my audio, isn't synchronized with my lips. It looks like one of these, you know, the Japanese dubs where they're saying a lot of words, because I think it's well established right now that Japanese, I feel like they have more syllables per sentence than we in the West do. So yeah, it kind of looks like that right now, but it's not because I spoke when I originally streamed this in Japanese. I assure you that wasn't the case. This was because, for some reason, OBS had a little hiccup, and even though it said it was recording my audio input, it wasn't. So that was a really good, fun thing to come back to. So I'm now dubbing over this video with my own audio, so that it sounds reasonable. By the way, I started with Refilibuster. I had a bit of a spiel there saying, you know, I really like Refilibuster. I also really like the boots. And also the eye never gets better than it was at that point. But I think Refilibuster legitimately could win runs for you. So I went for Refilibuster. My idea is that I was going to find some refresh synergies. On this map, I'm just clearing out pegs to get to bombs. As long as you hit the 4 bombs, you probably win this fight. Along the way, I'm collecting a little bit of gold as well. Look at me. I'm so innocent. Little do I know the misery that is about to befall me. And by the way, I don't mean the run itself. I guess, you know, I'm from the future. I know how this run goes. It's really weird for the spoken. I won't spoil it for you. The misery I'm talking about is I had to come back and dub the audio. I don't know if other people like this. I hate listening to my own voice. By the way, none of these orbs are good enough, so upgrade the sphere. Reasonable. I hate listening to my own voice. What more than that I hate is watching my own video back and then having to dub back over it. Ooh, look, must circle build. By the way, through the whole of this, and this will come up in another video, which, by the way, I sort this out by the next episode, so don't worry about it. And by sort it out, I mean that I've got an episode recorded with audio. I think you should never take a crit build as the Paladin. This is my new hot take. This is my new theory. There's too many must circle enablers as the Paladin. So anytime like a crit orb or a crit relic shows up, I don't take it. But for this run, we won with must circle builds, and I'm kind of hot on must circle builds. I think it's like the one good one for the Paladin. Look at me as well, following a flowchart. I cleared off the path to all the bombs, hit all the bombs, collected a decent gold. Cheers to me. What a smart lad I was. Alright, I think we take the Warp Hammer here. I'm like, you know what? Do I take the Warp Hammer? Look at me considering, pondering. By the way, I did this run like 40 minutes ago. I don't remember what I took. We take an upgrade? Is that what we take? We did. Okay, we didn't take the Warp Hammer. I do on a future run, but it may not be... It may not see YouTube, let's put it that way. Anyway, early elite, this is the elite you want. Upgraded sphere, very good against the Slime Lord. I'm like toying here, it's like, oh, do I want to hit the crit? No, I want to unlock bombs. Hit bombs, win game. And look at that, I hit a bomb, therefore we win game, right? By the way, on the Crucible level right now, which I think is Crucible 11 for the Paladin, we are taking the Terror Ball now from the start, so that's another fun thing I have to remove at some point. Anyway, just keep hitting bombs at this point. The sphere is incoming. And now everyone needs to sphere me. You get it? I didn't make that put in real time. Actually, I didn't even use the sphere. What the fuck was I doing? Why did I not use the sphere? Whatever. They sphere me now. It's still a lot of good single target damage anyway, because I've upgraded it a decent chunk. And I think at this point I'm like, we can't lose this, right? Then I'm like, wait a minute. We could lose it, but actually 90 damage is fine. And sure, we do 66 here. Even with a Pebble. Not quite, but 12. We can definitely do 12 damage, right? Watch this. 12 exact. I'm so good at the game. I definitely wasn't, like, clenched at that point. Anyway, I think I'm talking again about, like, we could take Bulwark, but Bulwark is, like, a super defensive thing. By the way, I'll interrupt myself again. I didn't want to take this because it's anti-synergistic with must circle builds, because with must circle builds, you want pegs. So I end up taking the other relic on the right, which actually, I don't know what I'm going to entitle this video. It was going to be the healthiest build of all time, because I do gain a lot of health in this run, spoilers. I do take this. I think it's pretty minor, but on some third floor fights at the very least. Oh, I spoiled it. We go to the third floor. All right, we get past the second floor wall. I won't spoil it again, but there's some fights where you legitimately take 60 odd damage to the mushrooms, and actually getting plus 70 health proved to be pretty important for us. But yeah, to go back to my previous point, by the way, I unlocked the chest. It's been so long since I did that. It felt good. And actually gives me a pretty nice relic as well. What was I talking about? I was talking about something to do with Mud Circle. Mud Circle's good as this character. I like it, so don't take crit stuff. That's the theory. We decided not to reach into the nook here because I'm fighting the Moleman. And Moleman doesn't like to be brambled, because if you bramble the Moleman in front of you, he just slaps you in the face for 11 per turn. That's a lot of damage. I could have taken the heal here, the egg, but I still don't feel like I get the best use from the egg. So, I didn't. And we're heading back towards this elite fight, because I'm feeling pretty confident right now. Name of the game here, don't hit all the bombs before all the bats get on the board. I even play a little bit extra cautious here. I try and kill the other bat with 6 health. Let the other bat come on the board, and now I'll start hitting bombs. It's beautiful, isn't it? And now we just have to kill 2 bats with normal damage. So we basically gold farm a little bit whilst doing damage. Very clean fight from me. Oh, and by the way, the refresh circle is doing a lot of damage right now. We killed one of the bats with a refresh there. I take Ether Wheel because refresh circle, refresh synergy, and it's a refreshing orb. Not my favourite of the refresher orbs, but I hadn't been offered anything else, and I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I miss out on the elite fight here. A bit unlucky on the bounces. But we are rewarded. Training weight is a nice Mud Circle generator. I think I mentioned at this point, it's like, oh yeah, the dagger isn't the weights, right? I was mistaking the dagger for the weights. This is why I'm hovering over them right now. It's like, oh yeah, they're affected the other way around. But we're definitely on track for a Mud Circle build now. This fight, because we had Ether Wheel, I wasn't super worried because I knew it was going to refresh the board anyway. Now I'm going for the big clear out the path to the bombs, hit all the bombs, win the map. And we've hit all the bombs. Goodbye, enemies. I'm probably looking for another upgrade here. Nothing super appeals to me there. I didn't even look at the upgrade. I guess if you've been following along, I've probably upgraded all the special things right now. Or there's a shop, one or the other. I don't remember anymore. There's a shop. Okay, we're saving money for the shop. Good choice, mate. Excellent event. Let the Pebble slip. There goes the Pebble. We would like to get to the shop later, so I want to go right. We do go right, and we get to the shop eventually at the end. Simply put, at this point, we have scaling, we have decent damage orbs as well. The refiller buster is helping us deal with these fights with multiple enemies. And then when bombs are broken, they hit lots of pegs. It's honestly a really nice damage add as well. I think I actually underrated that relic. It's very, very good. Oh, by the way, this is now, I think, another Mud Circle enabled there. I'll accentuate. Take that. Take it. There you go. Good choice. Now I have a way to get Mud Circle. The Mud Circle I get is more valuable as well. And every time I cycle now, I scale, realistically. So this is good for the second floor. And it's still good at the first floor, right? Now, it'll take me a decent amount not to sort of remove an orb here. The relics weren't that good. I didn't even look at the orbs. But now that I look at the orbs, I probably would not have taken any of the orbs. I take out the Terror Ball, sorry. I thought I'd already got rid of it. Now it's Moleman. Who, by the way, do you know this mole in the game files is called Avogadro? I found that out the other day when I was making a thumbnail, and I was like, Peglin mole. And it was like, oh yeah, you mean Avogadro? And I was like, what? He's called Avogadro? Is it because he's constantly bad? Actually, I think this guy's pretty tough. I shouldn't joke about him. I don't know where I rate him on the difficulties. He might actually be the hardest first floor boss. I'm still not familiar enough with Lesh's game just yet. And the slime still is a problem, but he's nowhere near as bad a problem as he once was. Anyway, nice refresh there for me. Get the refilibuster going, hit the bomb, try and kill the plant so we don't just take chip damage over time. We're also like reloading, so we're getting more balance, which again is giving more damage, so we're scaling pretty nicely here. Unfortunate crit, but still, the crit damage was 7. And the mole is nearly dead. Like, the fight has barely started. I'm at 101 health still. And now we're scaling it a little bit more. Give me a bit of must circle, please. Is that +3 must circle, right? Or is it +2? +2 must circle. Kill the tree. He has nowhere to hide. He also only has 42 health. A refresh would kill him. Or just hitting a few pegs. Ah, I threatened a viewer here. A viewer told me the rest of is better than I thought it was. It does increase your max health by 2 at max level. So I was like, you know what, viewer? If I lose this run, it's on you. And I'm pointing at the camera. There you go, I'm pointing at the camera. This is pointed out to you, viewer. I take it, I fully upgrade it. Also kind of synergizes with this max health build I've got going, I guess. But as I'm aware, there's no orb intrinsically or relic that synergizes. By the way, I take this leaf, the rest for later, because it synergizes with the refilibuster. I didn't check the other relic, whether or not it removed the crit. I don't think it did, though, right? That was Skulltimate Greed. Like, things cost twice as much, but you get twice as much money. My theory here was that the refresh could be in a bad spot sometimes. Now it definitely can't be. Also, we're filibustering more frequently. It's more chip damage. Yeah, that was kind of the logic. It was just more chip damage over time. And we might get some refresh synergies in the future. So, I thought it was worth taking it. And look at my health, by the way. I'm at 122 health right now. That's pretty tasty. I'm still fucking this map up like I always do. It's a little bit awkward. Fortunately, the bombs are helping me. We get chipped for 10. Doesn't matter, we started at 123 health. Who cares about 10 anymore? And then a sphere finishes 3 off. Gives me 3 max health back. Like, just a very solid fight. Oh, the other thing I actually forgot about this. My other theory was that the gunpowder synergizes with the leaf as well. Because there's so many refreshes everywhere. If you hit a bomb, it's probably going to hit multiple refreshes. So you get a big refresh for your book instead. Which again will refilibust for a decent chunk of damage. Now, I don't know. I've been thinking about this since I did the run. I don't know if this was actually true, whether or not it's better to have one refresh on the board and you get like a big bang for your buck on the single refresh, or if the multiple little refreshes are better. There's probably a way to calculate it, but my gut feeling is it's kind of the same. It's just easier to refresh this way. By the way, this is always a scary fight. I have no non-targeted orbs as well, so... We don't want to see Mirror Knight, right? Fuck these mirrors, just chunking me down. Fortunately, I have 30 extra health. Here I was a little bit concerned that I might get hit for a lot of damage if I don't get the double kill. Fortunately, we got the double kill. Thanks to the refilibuster, actually. Otherwise, they definitely wouldn't have killed the back enemy. Anyway, more circle is more good. Give me more scaling. Do I do a little greed? I do a little greed. Very lucky there. And we're aiming for this chest here. A free chest as well. Went with grubby hands, or what it's called, the grabby hands, is what was offered to me. Not very good, but not terrible. Again, 6 health when reloading, reasonable. I have a go opening the chest. Can I do it? I hit 1 bomb, I hit 2 bombs, I didn't do it. Still hard, as I said, without, like, electropegnant to help you along. Anyway, good start for this fight. We got the sphere, so the sphere is going to chunk a lot of these guys down, plus the bomb as well. Yeah, all enemies on 37 from the start. Very good, especially when refilibuster is about. So let's refilibust enemies. Whoops, wasn't a great shot. But again, they're on 26, so refilibuster should do some good work. I didn't quite get him, though. Fortunately, the armor now saves me. And again, the filibuster surely gets it. You'll get the job done, right? Nope. So we take a bit of damage. I don't know how we didn't do 28 on the Philly there. Anyway, I eventually hit the bomb, which hits multiple refreshes, which would be filibusters like the last guy. And then we just chunk him down for a big amount of damage. 6 must circle? That's reasonable scaling. Anyway, I think I take this refresh circle as well, because my theory is, like, the more refreshes, the better. And farm a bit of gold, you know me. We go to the shop with no idea of buying anything. I do have a look through the shop and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have taken any of this anyway. It's all junk. The only thing I would have wanted is remove an orb. But we'll do that later. Don't worry about it. I even, like, waved. I just did it IRL. I waved myself and I did the same thing. I guess it makes sense. It's me, right? It's my mannerisms, but... Alright, more mirrors. Kind of spooky. I'm like, I hope the mirror doesn't one-shot me here. Fortunately, we start with Must Circle immediately. And I break the mirror instantly. So that's 6 Must Circle off the first shot. Very good. Refresh Circle's not there yet. Every time I fire the Restore Ball, by the way, I get 2 max health. So every fight I can fire it, I try and fire it. And by the way, I'm at 142 health right now. Goodbye, plant. I get a little bit concerned about this mirror. Like, Ether Wheel's not that good. And I hit the crit. Ooh, yeah, okay. I get chipped a little bit by the mirror. But we should get it with the sphere. And already, the sphere is a 10-6. Very good. And the Refilibuster took him down by, like, 60 or 70 health, right? Oh, I make a genius play here. I don't make a genius play here. I eventually make a genius play. It must be after the elite. I take an orb that I wouldn't normally take, and by the way, it was on those 3 orbs. Because my theory was that it would do a lot of damage and work pretty well with the leaf. I mean, I take this because why not? Then I take this because why not? I have another go. Can I open the chest? No, I hit the same 2, funnily enough. Alright, we fight in the leap. I'm basically saying I'm not afraid anymore. And then as soon as I get into the fight, it's like, okay, I'm afraid. None of my orbs are targeting, so I'm just going to get hit by the mirror every single turn. Now, I do have 120 health, so, like, I can tank it a little bit. And boy, do I need to tank this. I'm like, great, I have to fire a pebble here. Very good. And crit, can you please get out of the way? Ow again. I'll fire this to heal. And gain max health. Oh shit, I'm only doing 140 at a time and he's hitting for like 10 back. Pretty spooky. By the way, the crit did 2 more damage there, so it was worth hitting the crit that time. But from now on, it's not worth it. And actually, we basically survived this run, I think. Or... Spoilers again, I'm going to survive this. Because of, firstly, the extra max health. But secondly... The scaling. The scaling was off the charts. A great start to my stack, by the way. 2 pebbles and an Ether Wheel. I'm like, oh shit. Is he going to do 53 to me? I'm actually very spooked. I didn't want to hit the crits either. So, it was actually a pretty good shot. Missed the crits, we get through it. We heal. We take an upgrade. Where do I take this orb? Oh, I take this because I just gained a synergy with... Every time I get Must Circle, I get a bit of Bulwark, and then when I break Bulwark, I get Balance. I should never have a lot of Bulwark, so... And I've got things that do damage to me, so it was actually a really nice synergy overall to get both Balance and Must Circle. Oh, maybe I don't do it. Or maybe I do after this. I'm so confused. I'm pretty certain I take the Electro Magnet at some point in this run. And it kind of carries me into the wall, because I was a bit worried versus the wall. I do have the scaling, but... I didn't really have a good damaging orb. Like, they were all very niche. Like, the refresh orbs don't do that much damage. The sphere doesn't do that much damage base, even though I've fully upgraded it. And I was like, I would really like one more thing that could hit, like, all of the other pegs. And by the way, I'm pretty certain it is this run. I'm going to look so foolish if I don't take it now. The Electob Magnet, i.e. the orb version of the relic, it hones in more on refreshes. It magnetizes strongly to them. So my theory was it would like go around the map, hitting all the refreshes pretty frequently and setting off Refilibuster. Like, it was a great synergy between the three things. So yeah, I'm like, hang on a minute. Isn't this really good? Even though it is only a 2/4 still, it should do more damage than the average orb because it gets, you know, sucked into the other pegs. And it's a very dense map, the wall map, right? So I was like, I think I should take this. And eventually I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take it. And I do take it, and actually it goes kind of crazy on the wall. So the one thing I'm asking for at the wall here is, please give me my scaler early. The scaler is fairly early. Unfortunately, the electromagnet was a bit too early to the party. I didn't want to use it just yet. The crit was fine there. I didn't really mind. I'm basically just trying to skip through my sack as quickly as possible to get to my scaler. Fortunately, the wall does take 2 turns off, but I don't want to take 2 turns off as well. I want to actually be doing something. We are refilibustering him a little bit. Like, I've done 200 damage to him via refilibuster and bombs. Like, that's not insignificant, right? And now he moves. The crit is worth it here. Does 2 more damage. But here goes the Must Circle. 6 Must Circle. Very good. And a lot of refreshes on the board. Very good. Good for refilibuster. It's also hard for me to not hit a refresh down to the leaf. And we add more refreshes to the board. We use this. I don't know. I don't use the sphere. Oh, because I think I need to scale a little bit faster. So I want to cycle as quickly as possible. So I discarded the sphere even though it did the most damage. And I fight that off because I had to for one reason, but also more max health for the future. Anyway, I got very lucky. Accentuate was the first one in the sack. And I think from this point I was like, I'm going to fire everything now that is good damage. I won't skip over things anymore. This is good enough. 10 Must Circle, plus 10 on every shot as long as they avoid the crit. And you'll notice that I'm actively avoiding the crit. I'm firing in the opposite direction every single time that I can. There I came to the conclusion the Pebble was good enough damage. I would rather get the refresh. And unfortunately, all the refreshes are right now near the crit, so I do want to fire into that corner. Like now, it's like, fire on the right side, genius. But look at the damage this does. And it's not upgraded yet. But it's just homing in on those refreshes, 1000 damage. That's an 8 of his health right there. Sphere, good damage again, 15 per peg. Another cool 500. And I kind of theorize at this point we're probably fine. 500 damage a shot. I think we had 5 shots left to kill this guy. And again, luckily we got a scaler again at this cycle. Actually, now I look back at this, I think if we got the scaling orbs in like the worst possible spots, this was losable, I think. But fortunately we got them at like the perfect times every single time. And again, I'm like, I don't want to hit the crit. Let me fire towards the right, and it kind of takes a turn towards the left, and I'm like, oh, don't hit the crit. It's 1000 damage. But fortunately I miss it. And we get the wall. Which takes us to the 3rd floor. Also, let's just pump this up a little bit. Now it's a pretty good damaging orb. And now I get its daddy, the Electropegnet. Used to be the run winner. No longer is run winning, but it is definitely run aiding. It's one of the better boss relics. In fact, I think I would still value it as the best boss relic. Or at least it's top 2. It's that, between that and Molten Mantle, they're both really good. I think if you have the right build, Molten Mantle can do more damage for you, but god damn that crit. Yeah, Molten Mantle can do a lot of damage for you. But Electropegnet is just a lot of safety. Like, it makes these fights so much easier. By the way, these mushrooms, god damn that crit. These mushrooms just do too much damage. For like a support unit, I know I'm on Crucible like 11, but they still do this damage I think on the base games, right? Or maybe they do very slightly less. They're just so dangerous. One of the things that's not helping me in this fight, as you may have noticed, I've hit the crit like every single time. Fortunately for me, I have 161 health right now. And I kind of need it because I'm just getting chunked. Like, it's 13 damage a turn from these nerds. The other downside was my scaling orb was at the very bottom of the stack, so I didn't get off to the fastest start. And again, it's gone to the bottom of the stack again. I'm moaning about it. I'm like, why does this always happen to me? Not appreciating that it didn't happen to me in the wall fight, but kill the other guy. The mushroom gets one final hit in. This guy, though, he did like 50 damage to me. And we're a pretty strong build right now. Anyway, at this point, I'm like, we just need to upgrade the Etta wheel and save money for healing. Avoid all elites. I even take the heal there just for safety reasons, because I don't actually have any way of healing in battle. And this is kind of like my biggest weakness right now. I have a lot of max health, but I can't sustain. So as soon as I run out of, you know, the max health, I just fall over. Do I take this? I don't take it. I just ignore everything, I think. I must be thinking of the other run that you may never see, because I didn't finish it. It's bad enough me dubbing this one, let alone going into another one, dubbing the first like 8 or 9 minutes of it, and then undubbing it again. Also, I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna have to dub the Hearthstone video I recorded as well, which, by the way, does have the audio at the beginning and then lost at the end. Oh, I did take the hammer. Okay, sure, I took the hammer. I think, actually, I took the hammer because like, I don't have a lot of AoE. And I know what the boss battle is at this point. It's the fucking guy that... His map is just so sparse of pegs. I think he's the hardest fight in the game now. And it's kind of weird because he has, like, no gimmick to him, really. Like, his gimmick is just he hits you every single turn. And his board is hidden at the start. But there's not a lot of things I think Peglin needs to change. But there are a few things, and I don't want to keep like harking on about this because obviously the dev probably has other ideas. Now he has consistently updated this game and added other stuff to it, and when there have been issues, like he's been willing to make changes, like the Paladin, for example, he's changed considerably. There's still, and he's changed the slime fight, but there's still a few areas of the game that I think could do with tweaking. Like the boss relics, I still think should be, for the most part, the boss relics I think could be curses instead. Like they could be downgrades in events. And I think some of the battles aren't very good. Like the final guy, as I said, I can't remember what he's called, but the guy who sums out the bombers and stuff and his map's hidden. It just needs to be denser. And that's all I can say. I'm trying to think of what else I would change about this. I think the rework to the Paladin hasn't really helped as well as what I would say, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, I think I prefer this version. It's just he's kind of innately weak. But someone has to be, you know, someone has to be the bridesmaid, right? Not everyone can be the bride, right? And I think that is just true for the Paladin. Anyway, I keep saying here that, like, Refilibuster will kill them, and I keep missing Refilibuster. I'm like, god damn it. I'm like, Refilibuster kills here, surely, right? And he did. I should have considered the ice circle more here. I just go to upgrade the stuff in my sack instead. But this... I don't know what to call this guy. The Crystal Peglin Lord. Piercing versus him is actually very useful for the same reason it is in the fight versus the trebuchet, the ballista, sorry. You kind of need to break through his plebs that stand in front of him. Not that, you know, it particularly mattered for this run, spoilers, but it would have been very helpful. Anyway, it's honestly, there's not a lot to say about this run right now. All I'm trying to do is avoid elites. I have a lark here saying, like, I don't care if I go left or right, so I'll try and open this chest. How good do I do at this? I was so close. If only that bounced back into the center, I might have got another item. Anyway, we don't take special relic here. My max health is insane right now. Why half it? I have no healing synergy. If I had a healing synergy, I might have taken it. Now that I think about it, though, I did have Electropegnet, so Electropegnet plus the relic is very good. But I turn it down. I think that, like, 174, we're probably going to get 180, right? Max health before the end of the run. Surely that's good enough, right? Anyway, we're just trying to one-shot the mirror. Ow, I didn't. Now, we'll try and warp hammer the mirror and kill maybe everyone else in the process. Ow, I did not, but I got the mirror, but not the worm. Fortunately, good damage there. Nice bomb. And we're out. I think at this point, I'm like, we should probably heal, right? There's not a lot else I can do. I'm probably not picking up many more orbs. We've upgraded everything. Forgive me, I found a little bit of gold here. And I'm like, please let me out. I just want out now. Like, please let me out. I can't get out. There you go. I slid through the gap. I did a bit of quantum tunneling at the end. Yeah, greatest deal out of all time. I'll offer you a pebble to upgrade my pebble. I think that brings me down to 1 pebble in the sack now. Oh god, it's the mushrooms again. Well, that's going to be another 70 of my health just chunked by these guys. Fortunately, my scaling orb is at the front this time. So I'm going to get it early. And by the way, look at the electro pegnet plus the electro magnet working together. They're just getting sucked straight into those refreshes, giving me filibuster and damage. All the good stuff a growing Peglin needs. Anyway, we have Must Circle, we have like everything I need for my build. And yet, I'm still getting like, I'm getting hit pretty hard. Rest Orb, 9 damage plus effectively 8 health, right? I left it on 1. Paid. As long as I refilibuster, which I just did, we are gonna kill a guy. I can deal with the chunky slimes, they're fine. The mushrooms are doing like 5 a hit from range. Disgusting. And healing the slime lords. They do too much. If only I didn't hit that crit, by the way, we'd be on the beach sipping pina coladas right now. Instead, I have to fight more. Decent warp hammer. Gets me a double kill. Oh, and by the way, they scale as well. They get Must Circle. I don't know if you're aware of that. Another kill. Another 15 damage to the face, or whatever it was. Just disgusting enemies. Anyway, just chunk them down now. Try and get a double kill here to finish them off. Not quite. I left it on 5, take another 3 damage. And yeah, look at that. I'm not half health again. All we need to do is heal now. There's nothing worth upgrading. I think I've just got a pebble unupgraded. Very lucky to not take more damage there. Kind of greedy, not gonna lie. One more chance. Holy shit, I'm scared of this fight too. Electro Magnet, or Electro Magnet, whatever it's called. The one fight that's scary is this fight, because you could potentially hit all of the red bombs. Normally, I wouldn't be too worried about that if I was, you know, at my 188 health. But look at me, I'm like bricking it. I'm like, I really don't want to hit the red bombs. And I'm like, okay, I have to hit the red bombs. We do take a chunk for 35 here. And I'm like, okay, we just hit red bombs. Kill everything on the board. I'll just eat the red bomb damage. And actually, this probably saves me. We get a bunch of max health back as well for killing those guys. And now I'm like, okay. Can we kill these without hitting more red bombs? Is the name of the game. But this cost me pretty heavily, right? And by the way, I said earlier, maybe I should have taken the special relic. If I'd taken the special relic, I think I would have died here. Hello again. Very close to me right now. And boom. Not a great fight. But I got just super scared early. We had 25 gold left and gold wasn't worth anything anymore to me. So I was like, okay, I will upgrade the pebble. Now we have to fight this guy with 90 health and no other way to sustain myself. And by the way, this is just going to go like it always does. Spoilers. The board is just lacking in pegs. We instantly hit a crit, which is fine because I didn't have any Must Circle yet. If any time I was going to hit the crit, it would be now. I'm hitting every single red bomb as well. Boom, boom, boom. But only 168 damage. Just not good enough, right? Like, look at how few pegs there are here. Like, I don't even know what to suggest. I think you just get the square gimmick. I just don't think it's interesting enough to warrant, like, messing it up. Or the squares that surround, like, the pegs. which I think sometimes don't have a peg on them, should always have a peg. Like, it should just be a full grid of pegs. With the exception of, like, the odd bomb here and there. It just scrambles every time. It's still not an interesting gimmick, but at least it would increase the density of pegs. Anyway, we have almost circle scaling. We've got a bit of balance scaling as well from breaking our own bulwark. But we're just not going fast enough. Also, at this point, I appreciate, I'm like, hang on a minute. The guys are going to get in the way, and I can't do a lot about it. There's only 2 orbs to help me. My sack is a little bit too thick, is what I'm thinking. That's all the red bombs gone as well. And I'm like, okay, well, red bombs were a pretty good way for me to get through these guys. Maybe the warp hammer can do it. Okay, the warp hammer does it. Puts a bit of extra damage on him. I'm still like, okay, we've done 2,000 damage. It's like 2 nines, 22%, right? And he's hitting me every single turn, and he's hitting me harder every single turn, and I'm not gaining life. At this point, I'm like, okay, we've lost the run. It's not possible to win from here. I'm not going fast enough. My scaling orb again is at the bottom of the sack this time, so I couldn't even scale. And even if I did scale, it just wasn't enough, right? It was too slow. I needed more of the must circle orbs. Which, by the way, I wasn't offered anymore. I did search for them. They were the big thing I was looking for. Scale faster is what I needed. I did begin to appreciate in this fight, though, that this guy is the 3rd floor wall. It's the exact same as the wall. He's just a damage check. Like, there's nothing else about the fight. You could argue about that for every other fight, but some of the fights you're like, okay, if I have this orb, like Lecce, if you have lightning, I can do some fun stuff with that. By the way, I have a relic that stopped me dying the first time, which is why I'm not dead yet. But you can have, like, the lightning orb that. The mole you might want to have cleave, or the slime you might want to have bramble. This guy is literally, if you don't kill me in X number of turns, depends on what your health is, you're dead. You're donezo. And you also need a bit of cleave in there. Anyway, it was a good run still regardless. I can't super complain about it. I just missed a bit of scaling, and this is kind of what I'm saying at the end. I had 199 health at the end of the run, which was a shame I missed the 200. But I think I was mentioning here, like, if I had, like, the popcorn or something, maybe we could have done something. But really, I just needed pure, unadulterated scaling. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Sorry it was dubbed. I will get this sorted out, hopefully, at some point. And I'll see you again next time. Bye!